Hey everybody, thanks for watching today. This is Survive Better Together. My name's Melanie and I'm currently in my office, we'll call it. It's a quiet place I can go and don't have to worry about too many distractions other than occasionally if I'm out and about and I feel compelled to make a video. I have had twice now because I live in such a small rural community. I've had people stop. They think there's something wrong and they want to check on me. So other than that, we're good to go. So today what I wanted to discuss is really because of what's going on in the world right now. Anxieties are high. Some people may be traveling to get home or not at all for what we have right now as far as travel is available. I don't know what that's going to look like down the road. I don't know if they're going to restrict travel. Everything is very much... we're just in unprecedented times right now. Things are as we've never had them before. So really, we just don't know really what's going to happen. Okay, so with that being said, with everything going on, I really wanted to break up and I was going to do a contemplation of different small videos of me out and about and how this could pertain. I don't think I have time for that. That's something that's going to probably take me a couple months. And I honestly just think it's information I need to get out now to you. As I've stated in many videos, I started doing this channel over 13 years ago just so my kids would have some information and have some skills behind them. It's developed into a little more than that. And I really, really, really want you, the listeners, to have some thoughts and think about some things and some scenarios. I want you to be safe. I really am concerned for so many people. So I'm talking about traveling today, and let's say holidays are coming up and hopefully nothing else bad has happened. But let's say it's Thanksgiving and you're at an airport and there's another attack and they shut down flights. They shut down travel. It could be an EMP. We don't know. Let's just say worst case scenario type thing. And you're at this airport, and the airports, depending on which one you get, can potentially have thousands of people or more. Like these airports, some of the larger ones can just have an absorbent amount of people. So first, you're probably going to have a lot of people at ticket counters becoming Karens. People are going to be trying to book car rentals, but cars might not even work if it's an EMP attack. So you don't really know the situation. Now, anytime you go to an airport, everybody's huddled around the little plug-ins so they can charge their phones because they're on them nonstop because they're bored. But do you really think you're going to be able to plug in? Now, you may have an opportunity to potentially still get a little bit of information. You may have an opportunity to get a little bit of information off your phones or off other people as they find out information. But I'm going to guess if it's something so bad that it's shutting down the airlines, that the phone systems will also be shutting down. It'll just be too many people trying to make calls and they're not going to be able to go through. So maybe you are just getting off a flight. Maybe you have a hotel. I don't even know if any hotels would be available at this point. Can they even check you in? Most people do not carry cash with them when they're traveling, just for like safety purposes, but maybe that's something we need to think about. Obviously not in your purse or in your wallet, because we're talking times like we've never seen before. the worst in humanity. You don't want to rely on somebody's not taking what they can to get the needs in the end. Now, you're probably going to have family that's like, oh my gosh, you haven't came home. What's going on? They're probably safer where they are than you. So you really are going to have to figure out, is it safer for you at this point to stay at the airport? Or is it better for you to try to get home? I guess that really is going to depend how far away from home you are. You might not even be at an airport. This could be, like a bus station, a train station. There's a lot of different scenarios. Maybe you drove, a couple hours to somewhere else and everything died while you're going through a city. I think about like when I go home to Oregon and I passed through several major cities along the way. I would hate to get stuck in one of those. I think that for me would be my worst case scenario. So that's something we definitely don't want to happen. So back to being at the airport, you need money. Hopefully you have a bag with you that potentially has, maybe some water or some snacks. You got to remember, I don't necessarily think that these food vendors are going to stay open or anything like that. You've got people stuck there. Employees, they're going to want to go home to their families because they probably live in that area. You may have some dedicated people. You may have some really amazing security guards, airport security that works there. I think I would probably try to buddy up to some of them because if you had an extra $100, like, hey, do you have like a lounge I can go in? Just, I'll give you some stuff if you can help me out. I don't know. Maybe that's a way you can work it. But what can you do to stay safe? At this point, you may start seeing the differences in people right away, and potentially you could single out like-minded people and maybe kind of group together. I know some of the airlines offer those private rooms where you can pay extra and go have a little more quiet time. Maybe you get together with some like-minded people and go into these rooms and take sleeping turns or resting turns. I mean, you're gonna have to band together with somebody. I highly doubt you're gonna make it out of an airport into where you need to be solely on your own. And then you think about this, these airports aren't right downtown in these cities. They're usually out in these kind of isolated areas outside of the cities. They've got to have all this room. So how far are you to get to where you need to be? And are you talking like you have to go multiple states to get home, multiple cities to get home? What is that looking like for you? So kind of think about these things. When you're traveling, make sure you have enough stuff on you to help you out. I like to always travel with a bag that has supplies. I know, like, if you're in an airport, you're probably not carrying a weapon, but they do have certain things that you can carry in an airport that would potentially be able to help you out and keep you safe. You also are you're probably going to need to start making sure you're traveling with some cash. I know a lot of people in the past couple of years with everything going on with the banks have started doing that a little bit more. That's a really, really, really good idea. I strongly encourage it. But you need to start thinking about, okay, if I get stranded for 5 days, 10 days, what is that going to look like? If you have a charging point for your phone, that may help. You may not be able to get in touch with family, but you may be able to get possibly some information on what's going on. If anything, your phone will let you know of alerts, hopefully. Hopefully those emergency alerts will be able to go to your phone. But I would say the number one thing that will help keep you motivated is your photos. Even if your phone is just powered on enough to look at those photos, that'll help keep you focused. That's why you need to get back home. That's why you need to get there. So not a, I could go in depth on this for probably a couple of hours, and obviously we don't have time for that. Maybe someday I'll do a podcast or something, but I really just, I want to get people thinking. We're just in these times right now that are not normal, and we just don't know what's going to happen. I know a lot of people are talking about, just really not doing gifts this year for Christmas. A lot of people are talking about not traveling right now for the holidays, which honestly, if you can do that, that's probably the best. But I know sometimes you kind of have to. So if you can drive somewhere, that would be better. But if you have to fly, just think about these things. Think about what you would take. Hopefully not for the worst case scenario, but it could be. We just don't know anymore. I just can't get over how much we don't know what's going to happen. Things that we would say would never happen in a million years are happening, and we're just going to have to be more vigilant, paying so much better attention to our surroundings, the people we're with, and what is going on. I know a lot of people don't like watching the news all the time. It gets them kind of depressed, but honestly, I think it's better at this point that so you can be more prepared. If anything, watch there's several YouTube channels that have really great information, and they do try to share that, or maybe just dedicate like an hour a day instead of all day long. Just figure something out where you can at least get some information going so that you and your family can be safer. And when you're traveling, make sure that you're prepared and that you have good stuff. Now, I will probably be doing another video shortly, hopefully, about things to have with you when you are traveling. I did one back in 2012, I believe it was, or maybe it's 2013, I can't remember. Anyway, I did a video about winter traveling. I'll probably do an updated version because things have changed so much since then. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please just love each other, love your family, love your friends. Let them know that you care about them. These opportunities might not always be there. Have a great day, guys. Be safe.